but it was the result of a carefully planned foreign operation supported by Western interests. He specifically accused the US Agency for International Development of funding and orchestrating the student protests in Bangladesh, claiming that US aid money was diverted for regime change. He also further alleged a nexus between the Clinton Foundation and the Yunus regime from a very long time in the past, and it's been in the making for a while now, claiming that they'd been trying to bring about regime change in Bangladesh for a long time until the calamitous events of August 2024, where eventually Sheikh Hasina was ousted in a coup. I want to go across to Mohibul Chowdhury. He's the former Bangladesh minister, also a key aide of Sheikh Hasina. So we have this story, first of all, where we've interviewed the defense minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh. He's spoken about Bangladesh and the new regime under Mr. Yunus not being considerate, not being respectful and disregardful, really, of India's concerns, India's interests on a number of occasions in the last year or so, whether it's the map showing India's northeast as part of Greater Bangladesh, there's growing closeness with Pakistan. The DGISI was there a few weeks ago. The naval chief was there a few days ago. The sense here was that India's interests, New Delhi's interests should also be kept in mind, to which Dhaka has also now responded. How would you respond, particularly in this last year since Hasina has been ousted from power, whether India's interests have been compromised by this new interim administration under Muhammad Yunus?
Thank you for connecting me today. Basically, the interim administrator, I say, the word advisor is not even in our constitution. He is almost like an interim administrator, a provision for which the constitution has no arrangement for. So he doesn't have any political grounding. He doesn't have any political support. He doesn't have any mandate. Doesn't even have a popular support. So the people who were out there protesting against our government now turns out to be people who he was patronizing for a long time with the money that he had and invested from different sources, etc. And after the fall of our government, he was given the charge of being the interim administrator or the interim advisor. Okay. Since he doesn't have any political clout, he doesn't have any support from the people, or at least cannot show through a properly held, free and fair, inclusive election, he's taking this stand against India, and in order to stir up regional instability and hostility between the neighboring countries, in order to give him some kind of political legitimacy. But he doesn't realize that people of Bangladesh are not anti-Indian people. People of Bangladesh share deep-rooted connection with India, okay, cultural, linguistic, spiritual connection with India. So he's literally misunderstanding the public psychology and at the same time trying to create as much trouble as possible in order to keep him in the position of power.
But Mr. Yunus is also now saying that there will be elections sometime early next year, maybe in March or in April. But he's also said that the Awami League cannot contest in these elections. Sheikh Hasina, your leader, has said that she wants to go back and contest, which clearly doesn't seem to be acceptable to the interim administration. It looks unlikely that the Awami League will be able to contest. So in this light, what is your case for how free or fair this election will be?
It's not going to be free and fair at all. He has not just banned Awami League. Awami League has been banned as a terrorist organization, whilst known terrorists, convicted criminals, militants, rapists have been let out of the prisons across Bangladesh. More than 50% of our elected public representatives are in jail, and the others are in hiding because of the persecution by his government. So it's not a free and fair election he wants. He wants a one-sided election where he will hand over the power to some kind of an extreme religious right political group. So, but he hasn't figured out how to do that yet. And he wants a stake in power for himself. He wants a stake in power for himself.
But Mr. Chowdhury, you've also made some pretty damning allegations regarding this coup or this ouster of your leader, Sheikh Hasina, which happened last year. You have alleged it's happened because of the Clinton family and the Clinton Foundation, and that they have a long-standing tie-up with Muhammad Yunus. But on what basis are you saying this? What's the evidence you're putting in the public domain to make these allegations? It's been over a year since Ms. Hasina was ousted from power. Why haven't you or anybody else from the Awami League put out this evidence in the public domain to back up these claims, these allegations?
Oh, I mean, it is out there. I mean, the Clinton Foundation has been very active in bringing the so-called the leaders of the protests into the United States. The U.S. President Donald Trump has revealed to the public that $29 million has been sent to unknown NGOs into Bangladesh, which, out of many reasons that he cited, to shut the operation of USAID and other state-funded foreign operations, that these were used for regime change. Mrs. Hillary Clinton had been inviting Yunus into to so many foreign forums. I mean, out of his last 16-month tenure in government, he had been out every month, canvassing for himself and trying to gain some kind of an international legitimacy for his illegal stay in power. So it's all out there, and the manner in which the then administration of President Biden was speaking, it all goes to show their clear involvement. I'm not saying that the whole government of the United States was involved, but certain elements were involved, definitely, for sure. And I just would like to say that, you've heard of course, the Open Society Foundation by George Soros. His son has visited Bangladesh and has publicly disclosed their assistance to the Yunus regime and his group of rioters since the 5th of August and taking over of the government.
Mohibul Hassan Chowdhury, thank you very much for joining.